I'm Robin Robinson. The governor goes to college. Harvard plays host tonight for a town hall meeting with Jesse Ventura. Hear what he had to say. And you'll hear from a man who says he sounds like the governor. You be the judge. Plus, a TV reporter is hit while on camera. The news is next.
I thought when you got elected, you lost your First Amendment rights lately.
Well, there's a quote of the week. Take that, Time magazine.
First on 9, free speech is what he wants. Governor Ventura is talking, and the national media is listening. He is not a Harvard man himself, but he's certainly the big man on campus tonight.
Governor Ventura is drawing the attention of the national media during his trip to Harvard. He's attended several events today and just wrapped up a town hall discussion that was broadcast on CNBC. Chelsea Irving joins us now with details on the governor's trip. Chelsea.
Well, Robin, Governor Ventura says the most important things in this country are freedom of speech and opportunities for young people. Those were his opening comments tonight. Then he had to answer questions from Chris Matthews. That's the host of a CNBC show called Hardball. And some of his questions were just that, hardballs. The hour-long live broadcast from Harvard gave the governor plenty of time to talk on a wide variety of topics. He got a warm reception.
Before you ask me a question, it sounds to me like I got a hometown crowd.
Then some tough questions.
When you walk by a church, Governor, and you have that moment where you look up at the place and you keep walking, what goes through your head?
Ventura again found himself defending his comments on religion.
There's not necessarily a bad connotation on being weak-minded. And if faith and... No, there is not. If faith and religion fulfill that void for you, then you obviously do need it.
Also stemming from that Playboy interview, Ventura and host Chris Matthews had heated words over Ventura's comments about the Kennedy assassination.
But you said in your Playboy interview that we killed Kennedy, the military-industrial complex killed Kennedy. You're now incriminating the Dallas police. How many other people are involved in this?
I don't know.
Well, let me go on with this because Oliver Stone. Let me go with Oliver Stone because I don't know how far you go with this.
I'm going to fire another one at you.
I'm asking you the questions. No, I want to ask you this.
I'm a talk show host too.
Things then moved on to the topic of U.S. foreign policy.
Maybe we are the policemen of the world. I don't know. That's a determination that federal officials elected at federal government will have to make.
He wouldn't say he wants to run for the White House, but Ventura did say he's pretty happy in the governor's mansion.
I love the feeling. I love what I'm doing. It's a challenge for me at this point in my life. There's nothing more I'd rather be doing.
And to the audience watching at home, Ventura closed with this advice.
That this still is truly the United States of America, where anything can happen.
And Governor Ventura had another stop before tonight's discussion, football practice. The governor took a few moments to check out the Crimson. The team stopped practice for some advice from Coach Ventura.
The key is to play as hard as you can and never quit. And winning or losing is irrelevant because in the game of football, if the ball isn't round, then somebody's going to lose every week.
Ventura's trip continues tomorrow in New York City. First, he'll meet with representatives from major bond houses. Minnesota already has the highest bond rating, a AAA, but in the meeting, he's expected to get a better sense of the strength of Minnesota's economy and where things will go in the next legislative bonding session. Then he'll move away from political work and back to his first love, entertainment. Ventura will tape an interview with Barbara Walters for 2020, and then tomorrow night, he'll appear on The David Letterman Show. Live in the newsroom, I'm Chelsea Irving.
Governor Ventura has been packing in the appearances during his trip. Sam Donaldson interviewed the governor on his internet-only webcast. It aired live on the web this morning. Among the questions to come up, will the governor run for president?
If I were you, I'd let you know what, Sam, you got to want the job, and I don't want the job.
Well, not yet. Don't ever say never. I'm quoting a guy named Jesse Ventura.
I know. You never say never, but at this point, I don't want the job.
Governor.
Okay, back to the job of governor. Our 9 News poll wants to know, if an election were today, would you vote for Jesse Ventura as governor of Minnesota? Call the 9 line at area code 612-946-1234 and enter category 1996. Or you can vote on the web by logging onto KMSP.com. The poll runs 24 hours a day, and we'll have the results for you tomorrow night.
Sexual assaults on college campuses are getting more sophisticated. I'm Jules Dyson. I'll tell you how the latest alleged rape case near the U of M may have involved a date rape drug.
Could legal wrangling jeopardize the Donald Blum case? I'm Elizabeth Costello. We'll take a look.
This is Rob Olson in St. Paul, where in the campaign to get the Twins outside to play baseball, they brought some twins outside to play baseball.
Coming up next, he sounds like the governor. He looks like the governor. Am I the governor? Let you decide, viewer. Hoo-ha!
Minneapolis police are investigating a possible rape near the University of Minnesota. Police say it happened late at night during a party, and the suspect may have drugged his victim. It's one of several drug-related date rapes reported this year at the U. As Jules Dyson explains, it's one more reason women should watch what they drink.
These innocent-looking pills are called Rohypnol, or roofies. Once an illegal sleep aid, they're now considered a dangerous date rape drug.
You get a sense of dizziness. You get a sense of maybe being off balance.
The U of M's Dr. Jamie Tiedemann says in the past year she's counseled half a dozen young women who say their drinks were spiked with roofies right before they were raped.
They may be at some point trying to push the person away or trying to get away from the situation, but they're so drugged that they don't have the ability, they don't have the strength to get away.
That's how a 21-year-old woman described she felt after drinking a beer at a party near the U of M. She told police the 21-year-old male student who gave her the drink later raped her in his room at the Evans Scholars House. Police searched the house for both Rohypnol and another notorious date rape drug, GHB. They found no drugs and so far have made no arrests.
I don't think that drug is really like a concern because it's not very like known and we don't know a lot about it. But I think
usually we don't drink things that people give us.
Yeah.
That's a lesson U of M freshmen Megan and Fawn have already learned about campus life. And it's this advice Dr. Tiedemann hopes all women will take, not just those in college.
I think it's really important that, you don't accept drinks from other people. You be very assertive and say, no, I'm going to go up and get my own drink.
The student suspect involved in this investigation is still a member of the Evans Scholars, but is no longer living in the house pending the police investigation. Also, an alumni member tells me the student has to do a research project on date rape and make a presentation to other members of the house. Evans Scholars is, by the way, often referred to as a fraternity, but it's actually not. It is actually a scholarship house for golf caddies, and about 20% of its members nationally are women. Live in the newsroom, I'm Jules Dyson, 9 News.
Edina police are still looking for a woman who ran off with $200,000 of stolen jewelry. The gems belong to Bockstruck Jewelers in the Galleria Mall. An 18-karat diamond ring and a diamond necklace. A woman looking like this computer-generated sketch tried on the jewelry and then ran. Police say the suspect fled in a blue 1995 Chevy Cavalier with a yellow or orange pinstripe. If you recognize the woman or have any information, call Edina Police at 612-826-1600.
The Donald Blum case is buried in disarray, a legal hodgepodge that could lead to appeals in any later verdict or decision. Blum is accused of kidnapping Katie Poyer from a Moose Lake gas station and killing her just hours later. Elizabeth Costello reports on this latest development.
Anthony Torres met with Donald Blum in the Carlton County Jail for the first time since the defense attorney quit the case in July.
He just doesn't understand what's happening, why I'm back, why I'm not back. He doesn't understand any of that, so we had some procedural discussions, and that's pretty much all I can say about that.
Judge Dale Wolf put Torres back on the Blum case, at least temporarily, after he threw out public defenders Joanne Piper-Maurer and Rodney Brodeen. The judge then started the process to oust their boss, the chief public defender for northern Minnesota. Wolf accuses the public defenders of ethics violations, botching Blum's defense and trampling on his rights, including telling the media that Blum confessed to killing Katie Poyer.
In the course of speaking to the authorities, he has admitted to both the kidnapping and the killing of Katie Poyer. Would the bone fragments on the Moose Lake property be Katie Poyer's? Yes.
Wolf also released 160 pages of previously sealed documents, transcripts of closed-door meetings, including the September 23rd closed hearing, the day Blum found out his trailer was burned down. The documents show Blum was so outraged about the fire, he backed out of his plea agreement. Also included a letter to the court in which Blum said he was angry as public defenders were removed because he believed they were doing a good job.
Mr. Blum has never indicated to me that he did not want me to represent him.
At least part of this mess could be sorted out Friday in front of the chief judge of the 6th Judicial District. The public defenders will argue to be reinstated, and they'll try and turn the tables on Judge Dale Wolf and have him removed from Blum's case. In Carlton County, I'm Elizabeth Costello, 9 News.
Public defenders did not return our phone calls. The previously sealed papers suggest Judge Wolf is worried that any verdict in the Poyer case would be appealed and that Blum's confession might be challenged.
It's turned into a real mess.
Yeah.
Well, some famous former Twins take the field to try to keep the home team in Minnesota.
I'm Angela Hampton. In the Family Survival Kit, a new study about fruits and veggies so convincing the researchers admit they should be eating more. Plus, how much does your family spend to celebrate Halloween? The answer may scare you.
And if it looks like the governor and it sounds like the governor, is it?
I say is just fun. Now back to the question. Yeah, she has a good...
And on the 9 Light tonight, why don't you have some fun and give us your best imitation of Jesse Ventura? The number to call is area code 612-946-1234. Once again, the number is 946-1234, and we'll play your comments throughout the newscast.
Minnesota 9 News. More local news every night.
All right, where are they?
Wow, the whole collector card series.
Right now at Burger King, get a 3-pack of Vikings collector cards for only 59 cents with any value meal. There's 9 packs in all with a new pack offered each week.
Step away from the cards!
Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Good morning.
Ow. Who said that?
Hey, right up here, next to this poor neglected jug of orange juice.
You're a leftover ham sandwich.
That's correct, and don't you realize that the American Cancer Society says foods like Florida orange juice may help in the fight against cancer?
The American Cancer Society says that? How do you know all this?
What else am I going to do? I sit up here and I read the labels. You know, the light goes on, the light goes off. That's pretty much my day.
100% pure Florida orange juice. Are you drinking enough?
Introducing a radically new SUV, the new Nissan Xterra. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
They know where you live, and they're already in your house. Millions of airborne irritants like pollen, bacteria, mold, and smoke. Take control with Filtrete from 3M. The Filtrete microparticle air filter captures airborne irritants up to 30 times better than ordinary filters. And it's used by the American Lung Association's Health House Project. Should anything less be in your house? Filtrete air filters, another 3M innovation.
Closed captioning of 9 News is made possible by Hula Hands.
Deadline day was 5 days ago. St. Paul Mayor Norm Coleman wanted a deal to buy the Twins, and he wanted it done by October 1st.
But with the stadium ballot looming, the city warmed up voters with a little outdoor baseball tonight. Rob Olson has that story.
I got to get this arm loose, though. This is it, my Major League debut.
For St. Paul Mayor Norm Coleman, this is almost a dream come true. The Minnesota Twins playing outdoor baseball in the heart of his city.
Something right with?
Of course, these guys aren't exactly with the team anymore. And this isn't exactly the kind of stadium the city wants to build. A deal to sell the team has been stuck on third for days, or to use the mayor's analogy,
You know, this is a Cinderella effort, and I'm worried that we're going to turn into pumpkins pretty soon, so we got to get it going.
So while the city waits for word of a sale,
Hey, Timmy, how you doing?
they do a little more selling themselves. A so-called sandlot game to encourage a yes vote for a sales tax increase to build their dream outdoor stadium. Admission was free.
Hey, we got cookies and juice here.
The food was free. They rounded up Twins dignitaries like Wally the Beer Man.
You know, I like working outside. You know, they're worried about my suntan. I think I should be outside, don't you?
Announcer John Gordon and former Twins Paul Molitor, Tony Oliva, Tim Loudner, and Kent Herbeck.
I think, first of all, let's talk about baseball being a future. First of all, I think we've got to keep baseball here.
All in hopes that the vote comes in favor of outdoor baseball in St. Paul.
I see them doing a lot worse things with their money. Might as well put it to good use.
You're willing to pay some extra tax money?
Sure.
All while the city waits for a different group of players to finish their game.
I hope no one's committing any errors, that's for sure. I'd like to see a home run. Or in this case, you know, it's really just a base hit because the home run has to come on November 2nd. Because if we get this deal done, the people of St. Paul still have to say yes to baseball in St. Paul.
Now, Mayor Coleman told me tonight he is still confident a deal will be struck for Carl Pohlad to sell the Twins, but he feels like the negotiations are now an extra inning, so he's getting a little anxious. Now, as far as the stadium, there are still some neighborhood block parties planned in St. Paul, part of the effort to convince voters the city's economy won't just get peanuts if the sales tax increase is approved. Live in the newsroom, I'm Rob Olson.
A new study blames pesticides for deformed frogs in Minnesota. Since 1995, dozens of frogs have turned up with extra legs, missing limbs, and even missing eyes. In two new studies, researchers took water and sediment samples from 6 Minnesota ponds. They found a combination of chemicals, including farm pesticides. Researchers blame the farm chemicals for causing deformities in the frogs, but they don't know whether the chemicals are harming people. More bodies are being pulled from the wreckage of a rush-hour train crash in London.
It's likely more than 70 people died. Both trains were going about 60 miles an hour at impact, triggering a huge fire, charring most of the wreckage. Many of the bodies were burned beyond recognition. Some survivors described the chaos after the crash.
I tried to get up and there was plenty of people about telling everyone to calm down and just trying to stumble my way out of the door.
As investigators sift through remains, they're focusing the investigation on one of the drivers. They believe he ran a red light.
The National Guard is on a relief mission on the South Pole. 2 planes are headed to a research station to pick up a doctor who discovered a lump in her breast. Dr. Jerry Nielsen has been treating herself with chemotherapy drugs and medical equipment since they were airdropped to her in July. The weather has been so bad, this is the first chance they've had to pick her up. Even now, the average temperature is 76 degrees below zero. The planes will land on ice and will be on the ground just long enough to exchange crews and cargo. There's no word on the doctor's condition.
It's time to rewrite the school books, at least in Kentucky. That state has decided that students don't need to know what the word evolution means. They've scratched it from being used anywhere in Kentucky schools. Education officials say they don't want to advocate a specific view or doctrine. From now on, Kentucky schools will refer to evolution as change over time. Many teachers are livid, fearing that the decision will discourage lessons on the topic altogether.
A TV reporter is recovering from an accident caught on tape in Chicago. She was hit by a car while live on the air. Now, just a word of warning, before we show this tape, it can be hard for watching, so you might want to turn away. Jane Bull was giving a report for the New News when 2 cars collided.
We're experiencing a really bad accident here. Sorry about that. Okay.
One of the drivers apparently put their car in reverse and accelerated. Bull is in the hospital with a leg injury, but she's listed in good condition.
Yeah, that is tough to watch. Thank goodness it's just a broken leg.
Well, tonight we have another reason for you to eat your fruits and vegetables.
Plus, new information about about moderate beer drinking.
More beer drinking?
Oh, boy, is that a Freudian slip. Angela has the details of the family survival kit.
Yeah, you're excited about that one, aren't you? Lots of health news tonight. We're going to start, though, with fruits and veggies. You know eating 5 servings a day helps prevent a variety of diseases. Now you can add stroke to the list. Researchers say eating the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables can reduce the risk of stroke by 30%. Your best defense comes from leafy vegetables, those in the cabbage family, and citrus fruits and juice. The latest round of research was so convincing, the lead scientist said she's going to start eating better.
say I haven't been a very healthy eater myself, but I'm just starting to get affected by my own results, and I need to eat those fruits and vegetables, not just study them.
This study is in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Now, Jeff, if you need to drink or need a drink to wash down all those veggies and fruits, another study says a beer could be a healthy choice. Yep, Australian researchers found a beer can ward off not only stroke, but heart attacks, too. In fact, they say beer can cut the risk of a heart disease and heart attack by about 10%. A 10-year study focused on one town in Australia where there were fewer deaths among people who drank 1 or 2 beers a day. The doctors warn moderation is key. The risks of heavy drinking far outweigh any benefits. Remember that. It's time for Kid Stuff and some money-saving tips on prescription drugs. Consumer Reports says the bargains are at the big drugstore chains, independent pharmacies, supermarkets, and online. So in other words, shop around. The magazine compared prices for commonly prescribed drugs and found a big difference. Overall, the best prices were on the internet and through mail-order pharmacies. Researchers say head lice are becoming harder to kill. A Harvard study found lice are becoming resistant to permethrin, the active ingredient in many over-the-counter treatments. Most of the products still work, just not as well as they once did. So ask your pharmacist which brands are most effective. Do you find yourself spending more and more on Halloween? You're not alone. American Express says a typical family will spend about $100 on candy, decorations, and costumes. That's up $17 from last year. Finally, at FSK, tomorrow is National Depression Screening Day, set up to raise awareness about depression, but more importantly, to get people help. You can call the hotline number on the screen there, 800-269-6044, to find a screening center near you. The screening is free and anonymous. 1 out of 5 Americans has clinical depression. The problem is a lot of them do not realize the severity of it, so they don't go for help. There is treatment out there. It's working very well for a lot of people. This may be the best step. So if you think that you may have some symptoms or feeling blue more often than not, or you have a loved one who does, call that number. We'll have it for you later in the newscast as well.
And we're in a day and age here, too, now, where there isn't the shame that used to be attached with some of this stuff.
There was a stigma, but we're getting
people
beyond
just need
that.
to get some help.
People realize it's biological as well, and there is treatment. Again, it can make you feel better.
Yeah. Thanks, Angela. Well, a Twin Cities group that's played with Stevie Wonder, Sting, and Elton John is proving that there's no place like home. Stick around for the buzz on one of the biggest success stories in Minnesota music.
Why would a carpenter join the union? The answer lies here, behind the walls of the Union Training Center. It's where the new carpenter learns the basic skills to do the job right. It's where the experienced carpenter develops new skills to do the job even better. In short, if you're a carpenter, millwright, pile driver, or floor layer, this is where you can maximize your talents and earning potential. All you have to do is join. The Carpenters Union, building the future, your future.
U.S. Bank makes getting a home equity loan fast and simple. Qualifying by phone takes as little as 10 minutes. There are no closing costs, fees, or points, and you'll like the low rates and low monthly payments. A home equity loan from U.S. Bank. It's a wonderful tool for saving time and saving money. Call and apply now.
The following blood types are needed by the Memorial Blood Center of Minneapolis. If you can help, please call 871-3300. Blood Watch is a community service of UPN 9 and your Better Buick dealers.
These days, there are all sorts of cute little compact SUVs running around. And lots of monsters lumbering about. But Dodge Durango is different. Roomier than the little ones, more manageable than the huge ones. The just right-sized Durango. Perfectly positioned between the toys and the tanks. Dodge Durango. Different.
How coordinated are you? Coordinate your bedroom. Coordinate your bathroom. Coordinate your kitchen. And coordinate your way to Kmart during White Sale Week. And you can save enough to coordinate another room.
maybe even a house. Come on, Papa. Empress Zoo and Princess Wu.
When your car's running funky and you need a hand.
The half-off brake sale at CarX. 50% off brake shoes and pads, only at CarX.
Don't worry, see your CarX man.
Looking for more international exposure for a Grammy-winning group from the Twin Cities. The Sounds of Blackness wrote the score for a Disney animated short called John Henry, recorded Another Day in Paradise for a Phil Collins tribute, and recorded with Tom Jones for an Andrew Lloyd Webber tribute. They travel the world, but to record their latest CD, they found out there is no place like home.
Nobody, no.
Yeah. Sounds of Blackness. Yeah, I thank the Lord for giving.
Reconciliation is definitely a Minneapolis thing. Written, produced by Sounds of Blackness members, recorded, mixed, and mastered right here in Minneapolis. We've been blessed to win 3 Grammys and 2 Soul Train Awards, and we just won the International Time for Peace Award along with Steven Spielberg and Jewel and Robin Williams. And as incredible as all of those things are, the most incredible thing is that wherever we go in the world, people come up to Sounds of Blackness and tell us that our music has had a positive influence in their lives. That is more and means more to us than all the Grammys and everything combined.
What you were watching was a video shoot for the Sounds at the Metropolitan done by Joe Brandmeier of Moving Pictures. Once again, the new CD is called Reconciliation. It is on Bobby Z's label, formerly with the Prince and the Revolution. You can find it at all major record stores under Zinc Records and on Amazon.com. And by the way, the Sounds are going to ring in the new year singing with the London Symphony Orchestra at Royal Albert Hall. Now, some things just don't go together, like oil and water, the governor and the local media. But art and fashion are a perfect combination, especially when it comes to supporting arts education. The beautiful ones are wearing some of the most exquisite and most expensive gowns in the world for a fundraiser this tonight at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. And when it comes to masterpieces, designer Bagley Mishka are at the top of the fashion world.
They've become really famous recently for dressing the stars, and some of their most famous celebrities that have worn their gowns to the Oscars have been Jennifer Lopez and Andie MacDowell.
Well, organizers expect Dayton's Evening of Fashion for Art to raise $40,000 for the Minneapolis Institute of Arts Education Program. Now, you can meet designers Bagley Mishka at Dayton's Oval Room tomorrow from noon to 3. And our sincere wishes for a speedy recovery to Dennis Spears. The well-known Twin Cities jazz singer was attacked several days ago. He was leaving a downtown Minneapolis restaurant when he was knocked unconscious and left with a fractured eye socket and cheekbone. Well, the bad guy got away. Police think it was an attempted robbery. We just say, feel better, Dennis. Tremor Flow has always been one of those great local bands that you wish more people knew about. Well, now they can be, thanks to a grant from Jim Beam. The Bourbon Company is awarding the band a $2,000 grant from its new program called Beam that's benefiting emerging artists in music. The money will help Tremor Flow record their second CD and give them some career advice as well. Now, there is still money available. If you want a grant application, visit Jim Beam's website at www.jimbeam.com. And it's time to check out the latest gossip, so kick the dish, Tommy.
Winona Ryder's in the latest Vogue magazine talking about her new flick, Girl Interrupted. But she's not talking about her girlie Gwyneth Paltrow. It seems Winona thinks Gwen landed her Oscar-winning role in Shakespeare in Love only after seeing the script in Ryder's apartment. The buzz is the two have seriously fallen out, and when asked about Paltrow, Winona's reply was, don't. Bet it's Seems Christina Aguilera just popped up out of nowhere, right? Well, credit the internet. The Wall Street Journal says RCA Records hired cyber surfers to cruise teen chat sites and urge kids to call radio stations and ask for her songs to be played. And it worked. Genie in a Bottle and the album went to #1. And don't count on any arena tours, but one of music's biggest stars has a new single out. A man in southern England found an unpublished manuscript of music written by Ludwig van Beethoven more than 170 years after the composer's death. It will be played for the first time at Sotheby's auction house, where the manuscript is expected to fetch as much as $331,000.
And that is the buzz. Now, take a good look and stick around and take a good listen.
Wow, I'm not going to try. But we do have some wetness on the way for the weekend, or at least before the weekend gets here. Then a phenomenal weekend on the way. Wait until you see just how nice it will be. I will show you at 9:38.
What is love?
It's the first bite of my Arby's roast beef sandwich.
Isn't there more to love?
It's succulent, it's delicious. Makes my mouth just water.
Is love saucy?
Pour the Arby's sauce on it.
The horsey sauce. It makes my taste buds just jump.
Love is Arby's $2.99 combo. A regular roast beef sandwich, your choice of potato cakes, medium curly or home-style fries, and a medium soft drink for just $2.99.
Come get your love, baby.
The lowest prices of the season at Kohl's Grand Opening Sale. Starting Friday at 8 a.m., all Kohl's stores are celebrating the opening of our new store in Coon Rapids with the lowest prices of the season on all denim, on all women's coordinates, on all kids' playwear. Get the lowest prices of the season on all athletic shoes and on all frames. Plus, get bonus buys through Monday. Get the lowest prices of the season at Kohl's Grand Opening Sale starting Friday at 8 a.m. At Kohl's, we make it worth your while. That's more Veggies.
Thanks for watching Minnesota 9 News at 9 with Robin and Jeff. And don't forget, you can watch Minnesota 9 News at 10 with Jeff and Angela. Change your 10.
Can you get at Mills Fleet Farm? Something a satellite dish can't give you, and something you have to pay for with cable. Great reception of local TV stations with a Lance 49-element roof antenna. It's on sale for $61.99. Mounting accessories are on sale at Mills Fleet Farm too, like roof mount tripods and coaxial cable. If you want it, we've got it. Mills Fleet Farm.
A year ago, this was me. So I leased a Volkswagen Golf and headed for the hills. Very doable. Rule number 1, only tourists can afford to live in a ski town. The rest of us commute. It's got front-wheel drive, so it's a great snow car. Up here, you need your car to do everything because you do everything. Maybe I just should have gotten it right. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Catch Minnesota 9 News when you're on the go with live radio simulcasts every weeknight on WMNN, Radio 1330 AM.
Yeah, I think everybody's jealous of me because I'm doing such a great job in this state.
Money, it does the body good. The reason I'm a great governor is I don't wear any underwear.
That was the best one.
Okay.
Not for what he said, but how he said.
Well, thanks for being so bold and at least attempting to do an impression of the governor. Love him or hate him, Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura is 1 in a million. Or is he?
Well, Jeff Valiant introduces us to a Twin Cities man who can give Jesse a lesson or two on being Jesse.
Now, do you want me to bring out an upright or a canister?
They say he's one of the best.
And you'll see it swivels like this.
Nobody sells more vacuums than he does.
Watch this. I'll put my whole heel in there. Automatic shutoff brush.
He's also pretty good at putting his foot in his mouth.
I'm the governor, and I'm king.
When David Earl